You there.
Are you going to teach your son to be a fighter? Are you bring him up to be a
No,
fighter?
sir. My son is already, he's 2 years old, and we want him to learn 3 languages: Arabic, French, and Spanish. My son is going to, by the time he's where he is, we in America would have had what we call our independence by now. The separation we preach would have been taking place in maybe another less than 10 years. This is going to happen. God's going to force it. By then, he's going to be a hope to be a world traveler and interpreter, talking to other people. In French, many African people speak only French. Many darker people speak Spanish, and he's going to have to do a lot of traveling, ambassador work, and doing different things I plan. And he's learning these 3. He's 2 years old, and we're getting him ready now for Arabic, French, and Spanish. And so he ain't going to be no fighter. He's going to use his brains.
Why not? Why wouldn't you let him be a fighter?
Well, for what?
Well, I mean, you're a fighter. I mean, why wouldn't you let him?
I had to be a fighter.
You would have been something else, would you?
If I could have went to school and got an education and could speak, say, 3 or 4 languages fluently and got a good trade in life, I'd forgot all about fighting.
Would you?
Yeah.
What did you, when you were at school, I mean, did you miss out on education?
No, I didn't miss out. I wouldn't learn. I didn't know the value of it. I was a little black boy in Kentucky, didn't know nothing about it. I'd be on your show, didn't know nothing about it. I'd be a world champion, playing hooky, playing with the girls, not just going to recess and eating lunch and joking, not knowing the value of education like many children do today, never thinking that one day I'll have to feed myself, didn't have no idea of profit and getting out and making money like a lot of children do. And time went by and I graduated and I won the Olympics and they put me out just because I could fight. And my mind was mainly on sports. They just let me go. And all of a sudden I found myself having trouble reading things, looking at contracts. I got to hire lawyers to watch lawyers. I know the value of education now. So I'm going to brainwash my children now. My daughter's 6 years old. She speaks Arabic, English, and Spanish.
That was
She's
interesting.
6.
In fact, when you left school, Muhammad, in fact, were you in fact semi-literate in the sense that you're difficult to reading? Could you read properly?
No, not that type of literate. I have a wisdom that can make me talk to you, an educated man, on any subject, and if the audience or the people listen, they'll say I won. Now, I'll say this. No, I'm serious. I have the type of knowledge that Jesus had, Moses had, Abraham, Elijah, Muhammad. Men are illiterates according to your educational standard. Moses was so illiterate he couldn't talk. His brother Aaron talked for him. Jesus was a carpenter, know a lot. All of God's prophets were uneducated men. This is why he chooses them, because he wants nobody to take the credit for his success. He's God. He takes them empty and teach him. So I've been taught by Elijah Muhammad. I studied life, I studied people, and I'm educated on this. But when it comes to reading and writing, I'm not. I may be illiterate in that. But when it comes to common sense, when it comes to feelings, when it comes to love, compassion, heart for people, then I'm rich.
Yeah.
I wrote something once that says, where is man's wealth? His wealth is in his knowledge. For if his wealth was in the bank and not in his knowledge, then he don't possess it because it's in the bank. You understand? My wealth is in my knowledge. See, I'm a boxer, and I challenge. I love to come on your show because you ask me good questions. I really like a man like you. You asked me a question here that was good. Man, you didn't write that. It was already in the book. You just brought it out. You found that. See, ain't nobody else wise enough to go find that. See, I like people like you. You make me think. You keep me sharp because I'm a spokesman for my people. And I want to represent my people. And I don't want to be a bad representative. I can't be blind because the blind lead the blind. They all fall in the ditch. So I need people like you to match with them. George Foreman can't talk to you now. Joe Frazier can't talk to you. You'll eat him up. How you feel, Joe? I mean, 6 miles every day. I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, left there, I got 2 hands. You know, I'm not like that. I don't want to be like that. I want to be intelligent, nice looking, get my briefcase and fix up and dress up and put my bow tie on and go give a nice lecture at Harvard University on the intoxications of life, or have a lecture entitled The Purpose of Life, or The Art of Personality, or The Journey to the Goal in Life, or like The Heart of Man, all type of lectures, The Solution to the Black and the White Conflict, religious draft. You understand? I like to study, and like what you hear now, things people never heard. I could go on and on and on different subjects.